Hi, I'm Saren.
And I'm Ray.
We're your Spider Baby hosts from To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast, as well as proud members of the collective.
You're listening to Capes and Lunatics. Gimme, gimme.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Diggity dank.
Hello and welcome back to another week of the Nightwing News. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is
Hi, I'm Kristen.
Batwoman. We're back on her house. Anyway, today we will be covering Nightwing's appearance in Justice League JLA 68 through 75, the Obsidian Age. From, what is that?
Looks like 02 into 03, maybe?
Yeah, so I just had to open my tablet here. Looks like, yeah, because first issue September 02, so. Not quite 20 years.
Getting close, though.
So, did you read, I don't know if you're still picking it up, did you see last week's Teen Titans Academy number 5?
Oh, I have it, but I haven't picked it up yet. Why? What happened?
Okay, not a ton. I mean, most of it's a flashback with those bad kids, but Nightwing shows up like in their flashback.
Yeah, what's he do?
Basically,
Is he cool?
He basically, well, they're street kids. He basically takes them to this orphanage that's, I guess he doesn't know is kind of bad stuff's going on, but he takes them to this orphanage, and then he's pretty much out of the story until the end when they get back to the present, and it's the end of the first term.
Oh, and they get fireworks?
Yeah.
Dang, sweet. That's pretty cool. Oh, so a bad orphanage, shades of Jason Todd.
Exactly.
Ma Gun or whatever. Wasn't that the name of that place?
Oh, yeah.
Her school for boys.
Exactly. And I don't know what's wrong with my camera. All right.
Maybe you're just in impressionist mode.
True. Yeah, I don't know. And then I think next week Titan season 3 starts.
Oh yeah, that's right. The 12th.
Yep.
Oh snap!
Excited?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that, I mean, yeah, it'll be good to see. It's just not my favorite, you know. It's just too gritty for me, so we'll see if it's more gritty or less gritty. I feel like they're going to Gotham, so it's probably going to be even more gritty.
And some of the choices they made with Dick last season, weren't my favorite, but...
Yeah, like how he went to prison. I mean, and then I have a feeling we're just, like, not ever going to do anything with that.
I know.
Like, what the heck?
It's crazy.
Also, aside from Nightwing, everybody else really needs to be fleshed out some more.
I know. There we go.
So, I don't know.
I don't know if anyone else is really going to get fleshed out, because the whole thing, I guess, is supposed to be taking place in Gotham, so we're getting Barbara, or we're getting Tim Drake, you know.
Jason. So, I mean, I guess they'll get, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's one of those things.
If they want to do a Gotham show, just do a Gotham show.
I'll just, I just go into it like, okay, this is like too dark and gritty for me, but let's see what's happening and go with that. I saw that there's supposed to be a Batgirl movie, but it's gonna go direct to streaming.
I don't know.
So I hope they don't screw that up.
Is it supposed to be direct to streaming? I mean, it's still a while before I think it's even getting made, but
I thought I saw. I thought DC sent an email about it.
Have you been reading We Got This Covered? No.
No, what's that?
It's a website. They usually put up like fake new headlines and stuff.
Oh,
I think they're just like clickbait. But no.
Oh yeah, no. It was this email that came from DC on the 30th of July, and down at Character Spotlight, it says. Well, you can't see what it says. It says, with In the Heights star Leslie Grace official in the title role of the HBO Max original film Batgirl, here's your primer on one of the longest running, on the long comic book history of Barbara Gordon, one of DC's most enduring and resilient heroes. So yeah, I guess the HBO Max original film makes me think it will go to streaming, because that's the streaming, right?
Yeah. I guess, unless, like all their movies this year, I know, or they're doing, same day they hit theater, it's going to be on HBO Max. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
but
so hopefully it's good.
Yeah, but J.K. Simmons is in talks to be Commissioner Gordon again. So,
oh really?
Yeah, the same guy who played Commissioner Gordon in Justice League. Yeah. So
I hope that doesn't mean they're all in one shared universe, because they need to scale back, make it not as gritty.
Yeah, no. I think if it's in any universe, it'll be in that Batman movie that's coming up.
Yeah, but who knows? That could be super gritty. We don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. Rob Pattinson.
Guess we'll find out. Maybe Batman will sparkle. Yes.
Oh my. So yeah, Titans is coming August 12th, and then the next issue of Nightwing August 17th. So, because I was just looking that up again because I'm an old man and can't remember. But yeah, I got an image for September's issue. Looks like we're gonna have a guest star in '84.
Batman?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, I mean, unless that's just a misleading cover, but yeah.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah, you never know. What would Batman be doing in a Nightwing comic? Get out of here.
Yeah, true enough.
All right.
Speaking of that, what's Nightwing doing in a Justice League comic?
Yeah, let's get to that. All right. So, for those of you who may not have read Our Worlds at War, yes, there's a big alien invasion thing. Atlantis and Aquaman are all seemingly destroyed, but...
Oh, that's what that was from?
Yes. But as the story we're about to read tells us, no, they weren't.
Right, yes, they were instead sent back in time. Well, so let me see if I get this got it straight. Aquaman, because basically all the Atlanteans can kind of do magic. Arthur sent them back in time, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him. Yeah, but yeah, they get sent back in time to avoid getting destroyed.
Right.
And back then, that Atlantis was above the waves until something sunk it under the ocean.
Well, and he sent them back 3,000 years, and now I'm forgetting. Is the Obsidian Age the name of that age when he goes back, to, or is it the name of some age that's to come or whatever?
It might be the age. I don't know. Did they call it out? I'm trying. I've been reading ahead, so it's been a little bit since I read this, but no, it might be the age they're in.
Yeah. Anyway, so he says, we'll go back to that time period because according to the Chronicles of Atlantis, it was awesome. And that turned out to be wrong. So I did find this very interesting and a kind of interesting meditation on history and how history is actually not just what happened in the past, but the narrative we create around what happened in the past. And of course, how we only know what happened based on the evidence that is passed down to us. And so in the case of Atlantis, the evidence that was passed down to them was wrong. And it made the period sound basically like a golden age, that it was really awesome. And it wasn't.
Well, history teachers and history written by the victors and the people in power, so.
I mean, yeah, history is written by whoever can write. And then it's what survives.
Mm-hmm.
And then what and this one's actually a little bit, a chronicle is really more of a primary source. It isn't even, history is kind of taking multiple things together and putting it in. But yes, it is an important thing about how, sometimes stuff gets screwed up and people can change things. And yeah, it is kind of an interesting thing to talk about with history, I thought.
But yeah, 68 is like a prologue where Tempest is having a dream or something about Atlantis, and somehow Batman's there on Titan's Island.
Why not? He's Batman.
It's Bat-God, yeah, I know. And then Martian Manhunter's checking out Kyle Rayner because he's been having visions too. But he can't find anything wrong. And then we see the Justice League having to fight Black Manta and Ocean Master because Aquaman is missing, presumed dead. Fighting them at the site of Atlantis. So what did you think of the Justice? Have you read a lot of Justice League?
No, I haven't read a ton of them. But what were you going to ask?
Did you like into, were you able to like follow what's like going on with, like, I mean, there's a lot of characters in this.
Yeah, I would say more or less. There were definitely some things that I was kind of like, okay, whatever. So that's why I am a little bit, like, I thought it was interesting with some of the history, but yeah, some of the Atlantis stuff, because I don't really read Aquaman comics and that sort of thing, I did kind of like, oh, okay, moving on, sort of thing. I appreciated the idea of how, you can't just assume just because something has been passed down to you that way that is, the truth, sort of thing. But yeah, I tried not to get bogged down too much in the details, particularly of all the kind of magical people. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of magical people.
Oh yeah, because they're investigating Atlantis, and Zatanna and a bunch of other people were there.
Yeah. Well, and then once we get to the people who were there in, back in the day, they're like even more magical.
Oh, yeah.
Magical people. I was like, there's a lot of magic people.
I guess the Justice League finds the royal fountain that's emptied, and it's just someone's carved JLA into the bottom of it. So yeah, the League discusses, whether they should go back in time, and they decide to. But then Kyle Rayner, I guess, gets another vision or something, saying, no, they're dying. I see them dying. And Batman's like, hits a button on his belt. Computer, acknowledge deep command Omega Gabriel Alpha. Oh my god, how funny would it have been if it was like Omega Mark Gabriel.
Yeah, if it was OMG.
OMG, yeah.
That would have been hilarious.
So
definitely hilarious.
And Superman's like, what did you say? So they get like,
or if it was like OSHIT or something like something like that. Yeah, that would have been pretty good.
So he's like, I guess Tempest was helping send them back, and he's like, I couldn't hold them. And he's like, if I fail, they're gone. The JLA is gone. So that was 68. Then issue 69, we get a new Justice League.
Find out what Omega Gabriel Alpha was.
Yeah, I guess when enough threats are like coming to Earth, and yes, this computer program sends out these well, they're I was gonna say drones, but they're based on Mr. Terrific's T-spheres, so.
Yeah, he says that somewhere in there, because at first I was like, whatever.
He usually uses them as like weapons and defensive things, or like, So, yeah, Zatanna and the others are back on Atlantis trying to find the League, and then one of the spheres comes for the Atom, and then one comes for Oliver Queen.
Of course.
I love he's like, am I going to be the oldest fart on the team? No, you are over 1,000 years younger than the oldest recruit.
Is that Hawk Girl then, who's over 1,000?
Jason Blood.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah, because he was a knight in King Arthur's court, and then once he got bonded to Etrigan, kind of stopped his, made him immortal.
I see. Did he change his name? Because I don't really feel like the last name Blood was that common back in the Middle Ages.
I'm trying to remember. He might have, or they might have just made him, they might have just made him up for...
Yeah. Because Jason Blood does not sound very medieval.
No.
I mean, Jason is like a Roman Greek name, like Jason and the Argonauts, Ison, but Jason Blood hanging around King Arthur's court.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. Maybe if it was like Jason Sanguine or something, and he was like kind of French or whatever. But all right, I was just isn't Hawkman kind of old though? So I thought maybe Hawkgirl was too.
Well,
or is it like they're
they reincarnate? So like technically, I guess you could say her soul is old, but yeah, they always when they die, they come back in a new body. So.
And is that a thing that happens on their planet? Aren't they from Thanagar or something?
That's one of their lifetimes. No, they were in ancient Egypt, and then there was like a curse that made them start reincarnating. So
okay, see, so that's older than King Arthur's court.
Exactly.
So she was in ancient Egypt.
I don't know. It's just that the body isn't that old, and two, I don't know. Sometimes they don't remember like their past lives, and it's
all right. That's fair. I just was thinking that because I thought I remembered something when there was that Hawkman plus Nightwing Brave and the Bold that we did last year. Mm-hmm. That part of the reason they wanted Hawkman was because he knew lots of stuff about ancient amulets and whatnot.
I was just looking up Jason Blood real quick. The first time that Demon came out, I guess it must have massacred a bunch of people and earned him the name Jason of the Blood.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Looking for the original year because it's like, oh, later on in like 1221, it's like, whoa, okay. Yeah, no kidding. All his family's deceased. No kidding.
Really? You don't say.
Ah.
He's another one of those, all my friends are dead.
I know.
Making new friends.
That's what sucked about immortality, man. Everyone you know would die over and over. All right, so Shazam, Billy Batson decides to decline. Yes.
So then we get Hawkgirl, Kendra.
Yep.
Faith. What else has she been in? Because I've only ever seen. I mean, I don't read a lot of JLA, but I've only seen her in this stuff.
I believe this is her first appearance. Like they kind of created her here.
Oh, okay.
Like she shows up in like more JLA stories. Like Joe Kelly who wrote this one. But yeah, she's basically a new creation for this. So.
Oh, okay. So when she says like, "Oh, this happened with Batman," they're just making it up right then. It's not like that was a. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so at this point, it's like we really don't even know like what all her powers are and stuff. So yeah, the sphere comes for her, and then we see one come for Jason Blood.
Yeah, and who's Ronnie Raymond?
Firestorm.
Oh, right. Okay.
He used to have to bond with Professor Stein, a college professor. Or, no, not a college. Is he college? No, he was a scientist, I think. But yeah, at this point, Ronnie can become Firestorm by himself.
Oh, two people used to have to combine so it'd be like two people in a trench coat make a hero?
Basically, their molecules would combine into one body, but yeah.
That's weird. That is weird. Okay, then Major Disaster, who was previously in Suicide Squad.
Yes, and he was a villain. Is
he in the Suicide Squad movie that just came out?
Comes out Friday. Trying to remember.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet? I thought some people had already seen it.
Unless it's like reviewers or something, but I don't think he's in the new one.
I mean, whatever.
I know. It's gonna be. I think it's like.
I was just curious.
King Shark and Polka Dot Man. But yeah, no. Major Disaster was a villain. He might have been in the Suicide Squad at some point. I know. I remember he's fought like Green Lantern and people before. So. But yeah, you can basically create disasters like earthquakes and.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
So it's not a statement on his personal life or anything.
No.
Your life is a disaster.
Yes.
All right. So they listen to Batman's message. They're all sitting around. You could take it up with your commander. Oh, who's that going to be?
First I love how like Green Arrow's complaining, and then the Batman recorded something for Green Arrow.
And he's like, shut up, Queen, or whatever.
I love he's like, for crying out loud.
Queen zip it, yeah.
Oh yes, he's like, together you'll be the best chance the world has. Trust me, if it isn't enough for you, it's not my problem anymore. Take it up with your field commander. Nightwing, he is the best. The only one I could have picked to lead you. He will honor you. He will make you champions. And it's like, get to work, Justice League. The world needs you. So, yep. Well, not like Batman trusts a whole lot of people anyway, but it's like, yeah, Nightwing. So Nightwing has been in the Justice League at least twice, kids. Right here and or later on when he's Batman, which we covered already. Scroll down. So yeah, that's the end of 69. And then stupid DC Universe Infinite, man. Every so often it gives you an error message.
Yeah.
Marvel doesn't do that.
70 is kind of explaining.
Yeah, they kind of explained that age 3,000 years ago, and we finally see where the Justice League ended up, and so a bunch of them got sick from the time travel, including Batman.
Yeah, I wonder what would make it. I mean, I guess time travel you can make up whatever you want. So it's like, what would make you get sick?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll think a lot of it was magic too, so I don't know. Yeah, so the 70s a lot of setup for what's coming, and at the end they go looking for Aquaman, and they find out he's basically is the water now.
Yeah.
Like in that,
which is crazy.
Like that empty fountain they saw in the future, I guess. So yes, Aquaman's like a water thing now.
That's pretty wild.
Plastic Man, what the floosh? And then 71. I know it's what you're waiting for, kids. 71 takes us back to the present and the new Justice League. Yep.
This is where stuff really gets going.
Yep. Because we see the new league assembling at the table. Firestorm all freaked out because he's sitting in Superman's chair.
Yep.
And then we see, what is this? Well, Green Arrow starts off. Well, if Robin's too busy to get the show started, I'll start things rolling. And Hawkgirl's like, over my dead body. Major Disaster's like, let the man speak. Adam's like, no one asked you. Wait for it. Now we just hear a voice. Not here. Never here. You got a grudge. The guy across from you stole your wife. Just having a bad day. You want to take it out on someone? We've got 50 levels of self-repairing watchtower. You can trash to your heart's content, but you leave it outside of this room. This is where the Justice League sits down to work. The Justice League. It gives them the you-know-who stare. Just,
that's right.
I love Green Arrow. Gee, since when did he grow channeling the dead vision? Got the Bat's voice and everything.
Yep.
He's impersonated him before.
Doesn't mean he has to impersonate him right there. I mean, he does so he can impress the seriousness of the situation on Oliver. But
so yeah, Dix basically keeps going on. The transition is going to be difficult. The more I look at the size of the shoes we're supposed to walk in, the more it scares the hell out of me. But it doesn't matter. We were chosen to be here out of many other possible candidates. He chose us. As he's looking at Batman's chair, the master of the human condition, a cynic, a believer. He chose us to carry on where he fell, and we accepted. We will not mess it up. End of speech. I don't want to make another one. I hate making speeches.
But it was a pretty good one. Very inspirational.
Exactly. Then they see them trying to rescue a bunch of people looking from a big fire.
It feels like they should have an empty chair, though, because Shazam didn't accept. Unless because he didn't accept, the thing went to somebody else.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I think that's the thing, because the minute Shazam said no, the thing came out, and then another one came in and asked Hawkgirl, so I think it's Hawkgirl.
Oh, okay, that's what it's supposed to be. Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's the same number. It's just when someone they deny it, it just went to the next. Okay. So yeah, they're trying to stop. Looks like a bunch of fires, and then there's an earthquake and major disaster to stop that. And then they're all impressed by Faith.
Yeah, well, and I guess this is kind of where everything is. We're just starting to learn. I guess you can levitate stuff. Is that that's kind of what she's doing? You would say.
Yeah, she got some kind of energy coming out of her.
Yeah. And
then Satana's been taken over in Atlantis and convinces them to at least close down the investigation for the League for the moment.
Yeah, it's like they possess her body or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, the League's like the whole planet's experiencing spots of drought and water shortages.
Yeah, so that's tied in. Because I guess at first they're kind of thinking, all right, we should not focus on getting back the Justice League. But, of course, it turns out that the problem that zapped away the Justice League is the same problem that is making the Earth all weird.
Yep, because after Jason Blood gets naked and performs a protective spell in the Watchtower, I guess Dick asked him to put up some protective spells. Then they're holding a press conference without Nightwing, because Major Disaster's like, where's our silver-tongued leader? And Green Arrow says, Lights, boy, the bat and his kind prefer shadows. You never catch him at a thing like this.
They used to do it when he was a Titan, but I guess now that he's not Disco Wing anymore, he has to recede from the glittering spotlight.
I mean, I guess maybe because he doesn't want to believe Bruce is dead, but I'm like, just to like, well, Batman still wouldn't show up at a press conference, but I was like, why couldn't he masquerade as Batman for a while so people aren't completely freaked out that the whole entire league is dead? How funny! How funny of a story would that have been if like Dick had to pretend to be Batman, Donna had to pretend to be Wonder Woman just to like try to keep people calm and stuff.
But we'd run into a problem. It'd be really hard for Kara to pretend to be Superman.
True. Oh, and then at the press conference, Lois is asking them what happened in the league because, her husband's gone.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone's freaked out when they're like, yeah, we're going to save the Earth first and then look for the league. But then Dick said the Watchtower going over. He's like, there's a lot in the file Batman left. Dossiers, detailed instructions on group dynamics, last request. You must understand this, Nightwing, he's reading. Above all else, if we are not confirmed dead, do not look for us. Whatever befell our league must not befall yours. And Dick's like, I'm not as cold as he is. I can't be. I have to know. I want to know what you found out. So Jason Blood was looking. I've contacted allies, both in the realms of the living and the dead. There's not a hide nor hair of nor halo of our fallen predecessors. So Dick's not happy with that. If you can't find them, call someone who can. Maybe Etrick. It's like, don't say that name. Not in front of me, especially not here with fire in your blood.
Is that what calls him up?
I didn't think, but it's like, it's almost like a Hulk thing. It's like Jason Blood has to like work to like keep him in,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sure, it doesn't help. I mean, it's a literal demon. Yeah. Jason Blood, you know what I have inside me, what it's capable of. Do not tempt it with your weakness and fear. And I love how Dick's like, oh, how did they do this every day? I'm like, the Titans have faced stuff like this before. I mean, I get it, but it's like, he shouldn't be so like, oh, I'm so out of my element. He should
they just want to group. They got to get some like father-son kind of stuff in here, I'm trying to be the man he'd want me to be, but I feel so small.
So Adam calls him down to the lab and says, all the water is being drained out of aquifers and lakes and oceans from beneath to a central reservoir. And it's all going to Atlantis. And then that's what do they find at Atlantis? Superman's dead body. Or his skeleton. So we had 72 already?
Yep.
And
the
again,
best stuff's in 73, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, 72 is more of it in the past with the league, yeah. Because it's like every other issue jumps from that league to the other league. Because I guess I'm trying to remember because I think it even says in here, these were coming out like every 2 weeks. So
yeah, yes, they're like early, late in the month.
Yeah, so you're getting 2 a month here, kids. We see
both Justice Leagues.
Yep. 72. The league finds Mira. Aquaman's.
Oh right, yeah, that's what we forgot to say. Yeah, so they thought it was this great golden age, but then they go back to that time, and when they arrive, the people who are the old timey people, I guess, enslave all of the new time people. So, and that was particularly crushing for the modern Atlanteans because, of course, they had been led to believe that this was a great time, and that's part of the reason they went. And it turned out to be wrong.
Basically, trapped Aquaman in the water.
Yeah, they made him some kind of water wraith.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So the Justice League goes to fight these people, but these ancient Atlanteans have superpowered beings of their own.
Yeah, that's where all the other magic people come in, right?
Yeah, because at the end of 72, they basically crushed the Flash, like literally. So back to 73, because I know Kristen's waiting.
I mean, this is a Nightwing. This is a Nightwing podcast. The main events are in the odd ones.
So I guess they're gonna parachute into Atlanta. Yeah, because what is this on the plane where Dick's talking to Faith?
Yes.
I love how he's like, you come from out of nowhere. It's nothing but Batman's recommendation. Your file is practically empty, and even Green Arrow, grandfather of the conspiracy theory, only throws you a sideways glance if he's checking out your butt. Why? One of her abilities is to garner confidence and trust in those around her. It's nothing I do intentionally, it just happens. I'm a walking warm and fuzzy generator. But she's like, most people don't even notice it. But he noticed it, of course. Your father.
Yeah!
I love he's like, Batman, he's not. Did he say he was my father? She's like, no, I'm sorry. I was just dumb, assumed. She's like, it was the way he spoke about you. Things he said.
Aww. No, but then look at Dick's face. He's like, he spoke about me to you? He's like so excited. Like, this is very sweet, but it's also one of the things where you're like, Batman, talk to your kids more.
I know. But she's going on. It was sad at first. We were discussing this work. I just started with the crew, and I asked him if he ever felt pride about what he did. He didn't. He said, what I do to people, even when the long-term results are positive, I'm not proud about it at all. Then he stopped for a second and said, the only time I ever feel pride is when I look at Nightwing. Sometimes I think he's the only thing I ever did right.
Aww.
Meanwhile,
so beautiful.
Meanwhile, Tim Drake's sitting there going, what the hell?
Maybe we're supposed to assume that this is still early on.
Oh, that's true. Maybe it was before Tim. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, it's at some point after Dick becomes Nightwing, because you see mentioned him as Nightwing to him and not Robin, so.
Well, yeah, that's one of those things about the comics that, you know, they really hone. I mean, it's great when you're reading it about but they always like really hone in on like the one that they're focusing on. So it's like, instead of Batman being like, my kids,
and you're like, Batman
are the things I did right. He's like, this kid.
And you're like, Batman, talk to your kids. That's the other problem though too, is like there's been so many Batman writers, especially now. There's so many Batman books, and you know, everyone has their own take on Batman. So sometimes he's more distant, sometimes he's closer, or he's closer to one over the other. That's what happens when you get popular. 50 million people rate your books.
It's true. And I feel like probably during the era when Tim was Robin, you know, they wrote him pretty close to Bruce, but I think because Dick's just been around for so long, like, even if he and Bruce are a little bit on the outs, like, there's still something. Yeah. Something there.
So they're basically sneaking into Atlantis because Faith's like, it's a trap, right? So Dick leaps down to Superman's body. He's checking it. He's thinking, how are we supposed to stop something that killed the JLA? But then he's like, you're killing all of us, right? But whoever's taking the water, what do you want? Show yourself. And then this thing bursts out of the ground.
Yeah, this is, like, her other form is as that queen, right?
I think so, yeah. Well, this is how she survived 3,000 years. Like, yeah. And I love how when she pops out of the ground, Dick's like, how much am I missing Bloodhaven-sized freaks right about now?
Well, yes. Fighting a giant is always a little something extra.
But this thing's even like, when I left the alien's bones for you, I expected more like him. But you're nothing but a mortal and silly dress. And Dick's like, shut up. You get one chance to stop this. Reverse whatever it is you've done to the Earth's water. Release my friends. Surrender. She's like, how weak humanity's become. Again, talking about slavery again. I was hoping you'd say that. Ladies first. Hawk Girl comes in and smacks it. That giant mace.
Yeah. Really hardcore.
Then Faith comes in. Hits it with that energy. Then Jason Blood and Firestorm come in. Major disaster.
Yeah, they're hitting her with all they've got, but it's not quite everything that's going.
But yeah, they really can't beat her, even Jason. Yeah, it injures Green Arrow, and Jason Blood's like, we can't touch her, can't even absorb her. Conventional means, and Dick's like, forget conventional then. Bring out Etrigan. And Jason Blood says, no, you don't need him. If you ever trusted me, trust me now. And basically...
can I just skip ahead to one that really made me laugh? So, Jason Blood gets Zatanna out. Yep. She's kind of like absorbed in the mud of this person. But then, so this must be when Lex Luthor is president, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Lex Luthor is president, and he has the military bomb them, basically. And I love Ollie Queen saying, the rats, they never would have pulled this with a Democrat in the White House. I laughed.
So what are we saying? A corrupt businessman could only have gotten in as a Republican?
Looks like they were predicting the future there that time.
I will drop a bomb. It'll be huge.
Yeah. Thankfully, oh, right. Everybody would have been nuked, and that would have been really bad. But they were saved.
Yeah.
And so this is Kyle. So this one I was a little confused about. Did he somehow not get sent back to the past?
No, he did, but I guess he basically doesn't have a body. I guess like his soul or his spirit. I guess the ring kept his consciousness alive. Like his body must have died. So
okay, so that's why he can come and do it.
Yeah, basically his mind's living in the ring. Yeah.
Okay. So everybody is then technically considered dead.
Yeah, for the original league. Yeah.
Okay.
But I love how Dick's like, if you're really Green Lantern, Ghost or otherwise, you know a passphrase.
I know.
The daring young man on the flying trapeze.
I'd hug you, but I'm honestly too freaked out to move right now.
He's like, you tell me about it. If you think the kickoff of a 3,000-year-old plan is trippy, wait till you hear how we're going to save the day.
They're going to go into the past.
Gonna go back in time.
And send the others forward in time.
Yep, because, then 74 starts with the old league, back where we saw them before, fighting the champions from 3,000 years ago. Not doing well. Basically get their butts kicked till Batman shows up and tries to save Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, so were Bruce and Wonder Woman having a thing during this period?
They were kind of acting like they were starting something, but then I think was it like issue 90 or something? They're just like, oh no, it'll never work between us, you know.
Okay.
Because I believe I'll have to look it up for you because there is like one issue, and it's not like the whole issue. It's like the beginning of one issue where like he actually like has her over for dinner at Wayne Manor.
Oh, okay.
Like
I mean, because they kiss in this one, and earlier or 70, they kiss in one of these. And earlier she was taking care of him, but I mean that just could have been like he's my friend.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they kind of play with that until like around issue 90. Yeah, because they do kind of have a little dinner date at Wayne Manor I forget how many issues after this. So the league's all fighting, and then Cal finally sees he's basically the last one, and they basically have this plan. Did him and Manitou Raven come up with this? Yeah. Cal. Yeah,
I mean, it seems to me that the only reason they're gonna win is because Manitou helps them in the end. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, that really seems to be the decisive factor here.
Ooh,
they need another, 3,000-year-old magical person to help them defeat another 3,000-year-old magical person.
Yeah, and I guess he needs Kyle's heart or something. So they, rip Kyle's heart out.
Oh, yeah, wasn't that what she was holding at the end of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
But, all the bad guys are celebrating. We see the beginning of that creature in the future because, it's the queen or whatever. She's already absorbing people. And then we see Manitou and, basically the souls of the Justice League. Even the Spirit Batman at the end of 74. I love magic. Let's get to work. So, they're basically... Kyle and Manitou's plan is basically keeping the souls of the JLA alive.
Yeah, well, and then you discover that their plan is they send them to the future, the original JLA to the future, so that way she can't, so they're like kind of zombies, I guess, almost, and so she, to kill them again, has to bring them back to life.
Yeah, it's the resurrection.
And then they're like, ha-ha, I tricked you, because now we have a plan.
Yep.
Also, we have Manitou on our side, which that's pretty much the plan.
Yes, we get Zombie Justice League. And then, this doesn't get resolved until 76, but Green Arrow even says, where's Plastic Man? Because Plastic Man's nowhere to be seen.
Oh, yeah.
Because he basically got, blown into a million bits and, thrown in the ocean. So, in 76, they used Firestorm to, find the pieces of Plastic Man. Because, I forget... Firestorm makes some kind of stupid joke or something, and Batman's like, Batman's like, why don't you shut up? He's like, do you realize how powerful he is to just like survive for 3,000 years, even as like, you know, just like millions of pieces?
That is pretty intense.
Yeah, and then at the end of 76, Plastic Man kind of quits to go spend time with his son. He just discovered a few issues back. He discovered he had a son because me and Lilith covered that issue.
Is this Plastic Man Ralph Dibny or?
No, that's Plastic Man. No, this is Eel O'Brien.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Plastic Man's like a detective. Elongated Man is a detective. Plastic Man is.
Oh, okay,
like
and that's who is the big thing in what? Identity Crisis?
Elongated Man, yeah.
Okay.
Him and his
okay.
wife, yeah. Yes, we see the zombie Justice League fighting that woman, that creature.
Dick gets the idea. Sorry, are we in 75 now?
Yes.
Okay, so Dick gets the idea. What about if we fight her with the dead? And then somehow Batman is able to speak through Manitou, and he says, "Do it." Even in the afterlife, he's a chatterbox. So that's how. So I guess maybe Manitou sends them forward.
I mean, I think he was like saving their souls. Like he was kind of like they were like containing their souls. So it's like, yeah, they just like threw the souls in their dead, you know, their what's left of their dead bodies, and
sent those forward in time.
I think it's kind of like he was just. He was kind of basically just holding them for 3,000 years. I don't even know if he tied. I don't know how Manitou's still like alive, unless in magic, I guess.
I guess I was thinking that what happened in the end battle is the Nightwing's Justice League got sent back the 3,000. They were fighting her in the 3,000 years ago, and the other Justice League got sent back to the regular time.
Yeah, because Nightwing and them, I think, jump back in time.
Because they take Zatanna with them, and that's how they get Aquaman.
Yeah, because they fight Aquaman, yeah. Yeah, a lot going on here. It could be very confusing.
Yep. It's pretty intense.
So yeah, so we see the trick where they trick her and they're resurrecting them. Oh yeah. Oh, and here's the final trick. Yeah, remember Jason Blood's still in the creatures. That now he calls Etrigan out, who comes like bursting out of the creature, because that's like his little catchphrase whenever he calls up Etrigan. Gone, the form of man. It says, "Behold it." I thought it was Arise. Behold the demon Etrigan. And then Etrigan comes out, and that's his big thing is he speaks in rhyme.
Yeah, the demon does.
Yep.
Fair enough, I guess.
It's the first rapper. Yeah, so Etrigan's battling this thing, and even Etrigan's like falling under Faith's spell.
Yeah.
Like, hey, girl.
I guess her warm fuzzies really push it out over time.
Then Aquaman gets all huge and basically to save everyone sinks Atlantis again.
That's where Atlantis is in his time.
Yeah.
And then somehow, like, they're using her lasso to Wonder Woman's lasso to like pull something with Earth.
Yeah. What's yeah? Where I'm trying to remember why they pull the Earth here. They're gonna hurl the creature into space or something. I don't
know if it has something to do with correcting the damage that was.
Oh yeah, because there was like a big trench where Atlantis used to be when it was transported back. Yeah,
I think she gets sent back like through the portal or whatever.
Yeah, basically all the water's back on Earth and everything's where it's supposed to be. Atlantis is underwater again, and Aquaman gets his body back and everything.
Yeah, because at first Dick's like, "Oh, Aquaman's drowning these people, no," and Hawk Girl's like, "No, they're not supposed to be able to breathe on land. He's just sending them back down to Atlantis."
Yeah, because that creature, her spell was the thing letting them breathe above water. So
yeah, so I think the Obsidian Age is supposed to be the time period 3,000 years ago that they went back to.
So yeah, so Aquaman's back. So then, and Manitou Raven and his wife Dawn, I believe, are in the present now. I love this when the League's all talking, and Nightwing gives Batman a hug. He's like, "Nightwing, Screw the rules.
I know, that's my other favorite.
Screw the rules and shut up just for a second.
I know. I really wish Batman would hug him back, though.
I know.
But whatever.
But yeah, see, they're talking about finding Plastic Man, so. Then we see Aquaman at Atlantis, where, yes, going to be put on trial for. They had a big prophecy about, some great threat that sank Atlantis. Well, it turns out it was Aquaman. Oh! Even though he saved everybody. But yeah, you sunk Atlantis.
Is Mara just trying to make a play for the throne or something?
Nah. I really wasn't reading a ton of Aquaman at this point, but no, it's kind of like a setup for like Aquaman. There's a new Aquaman series coming. I think he.
Oh yeah, that's right. To be continued, Aquaman #1.
He kind of leaves for a while and stuff, and I think it was just a story thing to get him out of Atlantis for a while. And then let me see. I was gonna say, does he have his two hands back at this point? Because like in the 90s, he got his hand cut off, and I think it might have been at this point he discovers he still has some water powers, like he can make a hand out of the water for his missing hand. But yeah, and then in 76 is when they get Plastic Man back, and the end says, what do we do with 15 Leaguers? Well, around issue 100, they started another Justice League book, Justice League Elite. So a bunch of people go over there, like Manitou Raven. I think Faith. Does Faith go over there? I think.
Well, Faith sticks around. I mean, because some of them are like 5. Yeah. I mean, like Nightwing. Because in I did read 76 too, and Batman's like, you can do this. You're good at it, and he's like, yeah, bye.
Yeah, but eventually they, like another 25 issues, they get another book. So some of them go over there, like Green Arrow, and. So what did you think? Lots of moving.
Well, I mean, I thought it was good. I will admit. So, like I said before, I liked some of the history stuff. I was a little confused because I don't generally read Aquaman. So, I got the basics, but some of the back and forth with the the stuff that the magic people were doing. Mostly the ones that were not the ones that had Nightwing's Justice League in them, but the ones that had the original one. I wasn't always totally comprehending what was going on.
I mean, for someone
in those,
if you're not very familiar with all these characters, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here. Even some of that stuff, like from 3,000 years ago, I remember the first time reading this, I was kind of confused with some of that. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, and I will admit that when it didn't have Nightwing in it, sometimes I was when I opened those ones up, I was kind of like I read through those ones pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because I realized it's a little bit confusing to me, and I just don't want to put the time in to try to sort it out. So I'm just not going to bother.
Yeah.
But I feel like you don't totally, if you're really into it. I mean, and I still picked up on the interesting bit about history and how, it's not always what we think it is, but I didn't really want to get bogged down with the details. I was like, okay, they thought it would be a good time. It turns out it's a bad time, and they need rescued. And that bad Gemini or whatever, the bad lady, she is messing with all the water in the earth. It's Bad News Bears.
Exactly. All right.
But of course, I love it. I can't remember if you picked it or I picked it, but.
I think you picked it because I remember looking at this, but I was thinking about it. But I think
yeah. But I own 71, 73, and 75 because those are the ones I love. Because those are the ones where Nightwing comes in and gives his speech. Obviously, 73 where he has his moment where Faith's like, "Your dad loves you," and then of course he hugs Batman in 75. Aww. So it has everything I need.
Exactly.
Although it would just be A++ if Batman hugged him back.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Batman kind of acknowledges, yes, because in 76, Nightwing's like, "Did you really tell Faith you were proud of me?" And he's like, "Are you gonna hug me again if I say yes?" So it means yes, that's true. Just hugging Batman, come on.
All right, so.
But yeah, I liked it, obviously. Even if sometimes I was confused because I don't know a lot about Atlantis.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts in this thing. All right, so, but next week we'll get a little more, a smaller story from Richard Dragon, number 2 and 3. So basically just some martial arts stuff.
But it's 2 Richards for the price of 1.
Oh, true. And then in 2 weeks, along with the new issue that'll be out by that point, in 2 weeks, Booster Gold 11 and 12 and 21 through 25.
And a new issue and a Titans episode?
Oh, true, yeah.
It's almost too much.
And in the Booster Gold, there's time travel, so we get Dick Grayson Robin and Dick Grayson Batman.
Whoa.
Yep.
It's almost too much.
So lots of good stuff coming, kids. So email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Nightwing News on Facebook, Twitter. Find links to all of the various social medias for all of our shows. Links to this YouTube channel. You can watch this video. It'll look live. Find links to the Patreon. More and more things happening there. Links to merchandise. Links to everything. All in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And please remember, support all things Southgate Media Group. Go to southgatemediagroup.com. Check out the Southgate Media Group YouTube channel and the Southgate Media Group Patreon. And you can also support them by picking up Pod Life, the book, now digital and paperback. And speaking of picking up books, go pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. You didn't get enough Dick Grayson in this story, so you must go pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. Learn all about Dick Grayson from many, many people. And when you pick up any of those books, go on Amazon, and when you do, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that 3,000-year-old creature at the bottom of the ocean, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom.
What did you say?
Please kick me in the pants. I get so much right. Mark my words.
All right. And we mentioned Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder, because you should pick it up. And whenever you buy the book, send Kristen a message, say, because Phil told me to. All right.
And then I can be like your mom, be like, if Phil told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
All right, kids. So in 1 week, Richard Dragon 2 and 3. 2 weeks. Oh, big one in 2 weeks. A new issue. The season premiere of Titans and those Booster Gold issues 11 and 12, 21 to 25.
So much.
Not even an anniversary episode. Oh man, if that would have happened, if it would have come a few weeks sooner, that could have been episode 100.
Yeah,
oh well.
That's a lot of stuff.
We always give you the best. But until next time, join us, same wing time.
Same wing channel.
The Nightwing. What's that magic?
I am Connor from the House of L.
And I am Ray from the House of Zod.
We are two of the many, many survivors of Krypton's destruction, and we have made our home in Australia, and dare I say, have become Australians, for better or worse. But we have also decided to read Superman comics, read Superman books, watch Superman shows, cartoons, movies, basically everything Superman, and from an Australian perspective as well. Whether you're a seasoned fan, like me,
Or whether you are coming in fresh, wide-eyed and wanting to learn more like me, then this podcast is for you. Join us for our bi-weekly adventures available on all good podcast catchers.
so just search for Last Sons of Krypton, a Superman podcast. We'll be coming to you from Australia or some cosmic dimension, wherever we are that week. Up,
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 and away.